last session, you accepted a quest from Viscount Anthony Pearson to bring him to, uh, or to escort him, I should say, to Roubel, a city, a port city in the south. On the way there, you also a person died, have you? Indeed. But on the way there, you got ambushed by or ambushed not really, but you got blocked by a group of highwaymen who you quite easily defeated, but in the process, a raven swooped in and polymorphed the Viscount and tried to fly away with the now red Viscount. Fortunately, you did manage to save him and get him back. And I think that's where we left off, with you guys among the now unconscious highwaymen and the raven being discovered to be a familiar.
Yeah, so I believe I was gonna cast Cure Wounds on someone. I'm not entirely sure if that's a Viscount or that woman.
The Viscount was completely healed by Hephe. He's also
Okay.
actually being carried by Hephe, so he should be...
Yeah, Hefe's in my arms.
I think we're good on cures for now.
Okay, so you see Teak walking towards the woman who is, I think, still lying on the ground, unconscious.
Yeah, she's basically slumped against the... well, against one of the logs.
And we don't yet know her
was-
name, right?
I believe we were also starting to tie people up. At least that was Luke's suggestion.
I mean, you have a dead
Well, she's dead.
dragonborn, an unconscious dwarf, an unconscious woman, and the rest have run off. Oh yeah, and a dead tiefling.
Oh, the Dragonborn died?
Yeah. He got
Oh.
he got a dart
Yeah.
in his eye. So
I thought I spared the dying on him, and you said that he was okay.
Yeah, I thought we saved him.
That was the woman, I think.
No, the woman died, was never
because
killed. She just
I
fainted.
think you did, but as in my mind, he did get like a dart through his skull, basically.
Oh, it didn't just stick into the eye. Okay. I was imagining that the eye was like a dartboard and it was sticking out. Whoopsie, guys! I murdered him a little bit more than I meant to.
Okay, so spare the dying did not work. No.
Right, okay, so yeah, I probably didn't realize who you were casting Spare the Dying on when you did. Sorry.
That's fine. So we got the captain is dead, the dwarf is alive, and then the girl's unconscious. That
Yeah.
Okay.
The dwarf is also unconscious. He was...
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure who did that.
Well-
anymore, but...
Well, now Hefe's doubly sad. Damn it.
Luke actually looks
So,
a little distraught too.
I'm walking towards that woman, and
Okay.
you see I take like a sort of a patch out of my like utility belt, and it's shaped like a feather with like a little wooden zigzag kind of pattern to make it flexible. And I stand there with the thing in my hand next to the woman, and I say, so are we first gonna tie her up or something, or shall I just apply this?
What does it do?
Oh, it heals her. Sorry. I thought I told you that already. I can heal her a bit. I can bring her back to consciousness if you guys want to, like, interrogate her or something.
I don't think that'll be necessary. I do believe that at this point she understands her situation.
Oh,
she's-
okay.
I think she fell unconscious.
What do we want to know from her? It's very apparently just a highway robbery, right? Or am I missing something?
No, they knew who the Viscount was.
And they said a little birdie told them, and then a bird tried to take the Viscount. So I'm assuming they at least know something here or there more than a bird told them.
I was really hoping that we could keep the leader alive, but it turns out that he's dead. She's dead. Gender. He's dead.
Well, if you're gonna heal somebody, do the dwarf. He seems more of a second in command than she does.
Oh, the dwarf's been spared. He's okay. He's just sleeping
Well, they're
it
both
off.
technically okay.
So, since you're standing there, Teak, I imagine you're healing the woman?
Yeah, I am.
No, she does wake up, She directly grabs her head as she still has a very bad headache. And she looks around a bit, sees the two of them lying around. And there's a little bit of a look of confusion, but also kind of looking at you in a bit of a what do you want? Like, either why am I alive or why did you wake me up, basically?
Yeah. So I'm standing over her with like a bright smile on my face, and I say, "Hi. So I'm gonna threaten you now." And I get my slingshot, and I put like a marble inside, and I aim it at her head, and I just stand there, waiting for a more sociable person than me to talk.
All right.
Asri will come up and say, now, I told you would get to live if you behaved, and so far you have. But we have a few questions we need to ask you. First and foremost, what do you know about that little birdie?
The bird, she. I mean, the boss just came up to us and said that. Let me check what's her name again. At Kaliara had a new mission for us. We expected just a normal like run mission, but instead we were sent here. And then you showed up.
And what was that name again? That you said who told you? Galleon?
Kaliara.
Kaliara.
Shit.
Understood.
And I'm also gonna check your backgrounds real quick because.
Ooh, backgrounds.
Let's see, would that be something I would be familiar with?
Whose mother is it?
Whose mother is it?
Asray and Fluke, you can make history checks.
Oof, that's not gonna. Oof, this is just.
Not fantastic, but hey, we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
I don't know shit, apparently. Now, why is that with advantage?
With a 9 and a 10, Fluke, you might have. The name does ring a bell, as it were. You have heard the name before, but you can't remember what it pertains to, or who it is, or what kind of person it is.
Scratch his head, just like, you want to give us a little more info? I mean, that sounds like a well-known name, but we'd like to have details.
I mean, she just makes potions and the like, and we distribute them.
Teak looks
That's
over her shoulders.
At least how we normally do it. And then
Towards the
suddenly
Viscount.
she asks this from us.
So Teak looks at the Viscount. She asks him, Mr. Viscount, sir, does his name ring any bells with you?
No, I've never heard of such a woman. I don't even remember the last time I bought any potions or the like, so I can't imagine.
And Miss, what's your name?
My name is Sybil.
Fiddle?
Sybil.
Sybil. Oh, Sybil.
Lovely name, lovely name. Where do you usually get these assignments from? Escalaria.
She usually sends the birds. Well, I think at least the other captain usually gets sent the mission, and then he brings along who he thinks will be useful in the endeavor.
So, Sybil, do you think that you're going to continue to do this kind of work?
Hopefully not. I was hoping I could go back to my normal work. I was hoping this would be kind of a one-time thing, right?
And why did you decide to become a highway robber?
I honestly didn't really know what the mission was until we started setting up here.
And you weren't allowed to leave?
No.
Insight check.
Yeah, can I also take an insight
Yeah.
on that one?
Sure.
Okay.
Or choosing not to believe her on that.
Both
Jesus.
of you, she seems truthful. There seems to be a bit more going on than just not allowed. But she does seem to be genuine in that statement.
Listen, I think you should be completely honest with us in this situation. I'm trying real hard to make sure no one else dies here today, but if you're going to continue to be a threat, I don't know what my companions will do.
It's true. I'm actually really. That's why I was trying to spare you in the first place, is because Hephe here is a friend of mine, and he has this thing about not killing people. I don't really get it myself, but what are friends for? Being different, right? So I think honesty may do you some good here.
Yeah, at this point, everyone is kind of looking at us, so everyone make a perception check.
Ooh. Perception. Can I get my character sheet to pop up? That'd be nice. Thank you, Roll20.
Well, I got proficiency.
I'm rolling so low!
I rolled so high.
Okay, Esray and Fluke, you notice that while she is speaking to you, she's kind of like looking in the skimming the skies and looking at the tops of the trees and looking around.
So you are working with the person with the bird familiar, huh? Hoping they'll save you?
No. The exact opposite, since she usually uses her bird to look at us, make sure we don't do anything that she would describe as stupid.
Well, Teak, you're pretty well versed with the arcane. About how long? Do you know how long it takes for a familiar to be reconjured?
Do I know how long it's for a familiar to be reconjured?
I'd say you do.
Okay. So I tell exactly how long it's for a familiar to be reconjured.
Which I think is an hour / an
Yeah,
hour to 10
it's
minutes, depending if they want to.
Hour, a bit more than an hour at most.
Yeah, I think it's
Sorry,
an
I thought
hour,
you
but
would
it's a ritual spell. So, I mean, if you got an hour, you got an hour and 10 minutes to save a slot. Okay, so, well, we killed her bird, so you don't really need to worry about that for an hour.
Give or take.
She actually make an insight check. I'll say.
More insight.
I'll say yeah, just for Fluke, since this is his conversation basically.
Right, I'm not oh yeah, that's a 4.
Okay. She seems not quite to believe you when she when you say that, and she seems still pretty worried about being spotted, as it were.
I don't know if she has any, other wizards under her employ with more. I mean, it would be smart to have more than just her own familiar's eyes, but yeah, her familiar's dead. It's very, very dead.
I don't understand. She often just knows things, even when there was no one there when it happened.
Oh yeah, I mean, she probably knows how to scry. That wouldn't shock me. I mean,
I was just about to say, does anyone here happen to be able to do see invisibility to see if there's any prying eyes? Not quite my spells, but
I mean, I don't have
Spells.
spells. I just know. Me and my folk know to watch out for scrying. I mean, come on.
That's why I'm asking if anyone can make sure we're not being squared upon at this moment. However, if no one can see invisibility or anything of the sort, then no can do.
Well, listen, Sybil. Even if there is someone scrying on us, she already knows you've been helping us. So, just tell us everything and maybe we'll make sure you find a way.
Wait. Perfect. Sybil, why don't you come with us? Where's your town? You said you wanted to get back to the previous point of work. We maybe it's along the way of where we're going.
Yeah, you could come with us.
We have a bit of a hideout in the Thin Woods.
Well, wait. What do you need a hideout for if you're going back to your life before being a highway robbery person? And I'm gonna smile very cheekily at her.
Busted.
Looks just looking like, are we really adopting this woman? What's going on here?
Stop! Don't interrupt this. Let me have this, clown.
It's just a look. You can ignore the look. You see the look. But you can ignore the
Like she
look.
puts up the hand to block eyesight out of the corner of her eye thing, just like while maintaining her eye contact with Sybil.
Pulls his arms on the back of the head, just walks away a little like, whatever.
Well, Wait, sorry, what was because there was a lot of in between. What did you say exactly again?
Basically saying, what do you need a hideout for if you're going back to your life before highway robbery and the such?
But so that you do realize, I mean, we didn't do any robberies per se, but you do
No,
realize
just
the woman
assassination.
The woman we were working for isn't like someone who would do a lot of legal business, as it were.
Okay. And whoever this is after the Viscount, which we've already fended her off once. Perhaps joining us and escorting you may be a way that you can survive the next couple days, because at this point, she either knows that you're helping us, or is probably going to be pretty curious as to why you stayed behind when everyone else either ran or died.
Well, I can also run the other way and have her think I died as well.
You're right. I guess then that she probably doesn't know as much as you thought she did then, and that you can. Right? There's no way she would possibly at all be scrying on us at this very moment to see who's alive and talking to us.
Make an intimidation
Are we
check.
still worried about that?
I wouldn't say I'm worried about it.
I'm gonna ask. You said intimidation?
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, that's decent.
She... Well, but still... She seems to be rather focused on your group.
Oh, I get it. So getting away from our group is a way to survive.
Yes.
Then it'd be really bad if we followed you, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, it's just making sure we're on the same page. So is there anything else you need to tell us and make sure that we do not have the compelling need to follow you for information? I'm playing this character way more charismatic than her score actually dictates.
I'm not sure. I think I've told you most of what I know.
Fantastic.
insight, please.
Sure.
I was gonna ask if I may as well, but I think he'll do just fine. Yeah.
Yeah. With a 22, she seems to be genuine in that she's still she's been knocked out until a couple minutes ago, so she's still a little bit shaken, and she realizes for herself that there might be more she knows, but she doesn't know what would be relevant for you to tell, basically.
She doesn't know what she knows. Got it.
Are there any more traps like these along the way?
Not that I was told. You should ask him, and she points to the Dragonborn.
Well, unfortunately, one of my friends killed him.
Yeah, real shame.
I was really trying not for that. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I daunted him to death.
Yeah, I can't spare brain damage.
I apologize
So
for
next
that,
time,
Hephe.
don't aim for the eyes.
Okay, that you do have my genuine apologies for that. Like I said, I was trying not to kill anyone, but it got away from me.
Uh, I'm not sure. There might be others. I'm very sure that we're not the only one that are working for her. So there's a chance she would send other people now. I think she also was more expecting. Because we were told there would probably be a dragonborn nobleman being guarded by a bunch of people. So we were expecting more of a normal group of guards, as it were.
Oh, I see.
But instead you got us.
So what's it, Jerry?
Instead she got us.
Oh,
Instead
yes.
she got us.
Well, we got you, and now she probably knows.
Well, on the bright side, you got us, and means only your leader and one very unfortunate guard had to die, so, could have been worse.
Lucky you.
But it could have been better.
Correct.
Yes, but it could have been her, so she gets to live. Good for her.
She found the way.
Your
After
regular,
PM.
your preferable jobs from her. What kind of activities are those? You said something about potions?
Yes, mostly getting potions over borders and bringing them to the right people.
What kind of potions?
Depends. Usually just all kinds of like healing potions, potions against certain diseases. Sometimes
Why?
also poisons, but those are more for people like him. And she points to the dwarf and the dragonborn. It depends on what you're being trusted with.
Sybil, what kind of work did you do before you took on this dark trade?
I was a child in the city.
So this is what when you started getting back to your life from before this, you didn't actually have one. That was a bluff.
And I said the life before this, I meant the smuggling instead of the robbery. He was asking if I was a highwayman before. I've never been.
I see.
Don't really consider myself one still.
This is just a linguistics differentiation, then. Okay.
I guess.
If we spared your life, would you promise to lead a life of good?
And what is a life of good? I
You
told
don't
most
rob
of what I deliver are healing and things against diseases.
And
Which made
poisons.
me question. You called it smuggling yourself. Why would you need somebody to get healing potions across the border?
Because countries are at war and they don't like it when things get imported.
Yes.
And also she doesn't pay taxes, I think.
That's a very fair point.
Anthony,
Viscount!
What
Sorry,
ki-
Anthony.
what kind of charges would be brought against this woman?
Well, smuggling usually, well, unless the entire operation gets caught, it's usually not worth the time of the guards. Usually a couple of months of forced labor, and sometimes, during these times when we're at war, they sometimes get recruited. Smugglers make for good scouts.
Well, I don't know if any of that is necessary, but I think at this point we've got all the information from her we can get. So the question is, do we want to try to keep her with our party, and in which case, not most likely endangering her life, and maybe if we can find a use out of it, or perhaps we should just allow her to be on her way.
I mean, I say we let her go. Fluke will actually just kind of saunter on up and basically hand her what equates to a business card, just like, Fate's fortune. They might could use a smuggler. Can't promise you anything, but you can use the name Fluke, see if it gets you anywhere. Give you some options.
Thank you, but I think I'd rather go the other way. See if I can find up north something to do.
Yeah, fair. Offers there should you find yourself, somewhat against a wall, but not completely against a wall. He'll give a little wink.
I agree with Fluke. Let her go.
Teak lowers her slingshot.
She'll get up and kind of look around and just say, "Do you mind if I bury them first? I've worked."
Yep.
Okay, and then she'll start moving.
Wait, you do mind?
Is the dwarf dead?
No.
Yeah, the dwarf is
No.
dead. Well, hold on.
No, the dwarf is
as
alive.
we will
The
say,
The
dragonborn is
dwarf's
dead.
still alive, the dragonborn's dead, but the tiefling...
He actually cares about the guy who fell off the cliff? That's actually pretty commendable.
Well, she probably doesn't even know about him.
Well, she said
No,
bury
she
them.
She saw him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But if the Decorm says no, then she is just gonna get on the move and...
Well,
start
yeah, no.
moving.
Asri's actually defending that. Why can't she bury her dead?
I didn't expect her to be that easily convinced.
We did just do
I was
it.
making
Well,
a
now hold
joke.
on. I will help you bury your dead. No, wait, get back here! Chasing. I've got short little legs. I will help her take care and bury the dead while they try to work on waking up the dwarf. I believe is the one that's still alive. I will work on helping her bury the dead.
Okay, so she'll go... No, that's a more softer spot. And she'll get him first. And...
I do have a shovel.
Asri would ask to borrow that just to speed
Yeah.
things up if she. Didn't have one.
I think Decorum's carrying most of my stuff that I had to drop to be able to carry Anthony here. So, like, he's got my sledgehammer and all that other stuff, so he's got the shovel.
Okay.
Consider it dropped somewhere in a pile.
Hephe,
Yes, Teak.
I still feel kind of bad for killing that one dude, so I still got one of those patches left. Shall I also help this guy? Or do you also want to bring a bit more life into the world?
I think we should tie him up first, and then
Yeah.
see if we can just smack him awake.
Oh,
But if that
okay.
doesn't work, go ahead and give him a little boost.
Yeah, of course, of course. If you think that will help.
So we'll strip him of his armor and his weapons, tie him up, and then try to smack him awake.
Yeah, I think you already took his weapons.
Yeah.
So
last time.
we'll strip him naked.
Yeah.
I tried to make a very complicated but beautiful knot on the back of his body, like his hands.
Okay.
Very decorative.
So should I roll something or?
Roll acrobatics, I guess.
For how
Acrobatics.
beautiful the knot is. Sleight of hand?
Yeah. Yeah, sleight of hand works as well.
Sleight of hand? Alright. Here we go.
If he escapes, that will be the DC. If he tries to escape.
Gotcha.
Oh no.
That's okay. We're a lot. I'm faster than him.
Yeah, you're also still completely surrounding him.
Where is he gonna go? He's gonna take a lot of opportunity attacks if he tries to escape.
Okay. So you have tied him up.
He's naked.
He's in his undies.
Smack, 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 smack with my hooves.
Oh god.
With your
With
hooves.
your hooves.
Yeah.
1 failed death save, 2 failed death save.
Right? Like
Not,
you're just
not
stomping
enough
on
to
his
do any
face at this
damage.
point.
Just
Yeah.
kind of.
Just gently nudge him
Yeah.
awake.
Hey.
I slap him
Hey.
in the face with a hoof.
It takes a bit, but eventually he wakes as well. And he kind of like shocks awake and looks around him and then realizes who all of you are and kind of remembers what happens before he went unconscious. This is... Yeah, so... Thanks for keeping me alive, I guess.
Yeah, we would have preferred to keep the Dragonborn alive too, but you got a dart in the eye. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
That's why
that
it's
was
not so bad here.
unfortunate. Or sad, because I probably wouldn't
Respect
use the word
the dead.
unfortunate.
Wanted to have a talking to and dress him down a little too, but oh well, que sera, sera.
So, why were you here?
Well, we got hired by, what's her name, Galiara, and she said, hey, go sit there, wait for a Dragonborn and some guards, and then distract them. And then you showed up, we distracted you, and you attacked.
So this was all just a distraction?
Oh, now I feel bad. We killed people over that. Ugh.
Well, yeah,
I mean, we also saved our charge. The distraction didn't exactly work.
the idea was that they would be panicking once the Viscount would be kidnapped. But I see you're not panicking, so... Oh, and the Viscount's also still here, so... Hey.
Yeah, thankfully he has very good taste in who he hires.
Why
Behind
were you
us.
trying to kidnap Anthony?
I have no idea. If
Insight?
Yeah, I'm about to say insight.
Fluke as well, right?
Yeah, just taking a second to pop up.
At this point, everyone except for Azray can roll insight.
Yeah, I
if they want
got got nothing. I'm not the
I'm
insight
digging
boy.
graves.
Grave
Ooh.
digger!
to. Does the Decorm want to roll insight as well?
No. He
Okay.
believes him.
Yeah, all of you believe him.
Oh shit.
What were you doing before you took this job?
How long should I go back?
Go back to college.
I never went to college, unfortunately. But I used to be a soldier. Then I wasn't a soldier, and then I was a beggar for a while, and then I got picked up here.
You specialized in poisons, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Your friend told us that before this you also did poison-related smuggling.
Well, sometimes. I usually did more, how do you say it, personalized runs. People would order specific things and I would take those.
Any clients in Loudel?
Well, wait, where? Sorry?
Loudel.
Loudel?
Roubel, sorry. Roubel.
Okay. What do you have? Oh, we sometimes, but usually not. There were in Roubel. We have a couple of vendors who will then take it from there, and we're not sure really what they do with it.
It would be very
wasn't
wise
there.
to say names right now.
Names. Well, as I said, there's a couple of potion shops there that we sell to, but what they then do with the potions we don't know. As I said, I really did mostly the custom orders.
How long have you worked with Sybil?
Should be around 30 years now.
How old
Something
does
like
Sybil
that.
look?
Sorry?
You said 30 years?
Yeah.
How old does Sybil look?
Oh, sorry, with Sybil. Oh, my apologies. I thought you were talking about the other person.
Kaliara or the
Kaliara,
Dragonborn?
Yeah, no, sorry. I thought you were talking about Kaliara.
Okay, so I
Oh.
mean, get knowledge for both.
Yeah. So with Sybil, you would say. Oh, apologies. You would say. I think she joined 5. No. Longer. 8 years ago or 8 years ago or so.
Hmm.
But there were no custom orders in Roubel.
No, Roubel is quite strict with its import and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some people who are trusted in Roubel who then sell from there. So custom orders also go to them then, and not to the client itself.
What is your name?
My name is Saul.
Saul, if we let you go, will you return to a life of crime?
Well, I've got to do something to feed the people at home. Unless you have a better option.
What did your dad do?
He was a soldier.
Your dad was a soldier. So why didn't you become a soldier?
He did.
I
He said
did.
that earlier. Yeah, he did mention that earlier.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Missed that part.
That's fine.
You're good. That was perfect.
You have a family now?
I do.
That's why you quit being a soldier?
That's part of it.
Saul, how much do you love your family?
Why?
What would they think if you died?
Hephe with the threats.
Not a threat.
Intimidation check.
not a threat, but okay, I'll do an intimidation check.
You'll take it as a threat.
That's perfectly fine. Intimidation, go. Not very intimidating. Perfect.
Well, they would be sad, I hope.
And who would provide for them?
Someone probably would. I hope they would. I've tried not to think about that.
Well, if you're in this line
is
of
the
work,
third time
you
his
should.
action changed, by the way, but
Could you do me a favor?
depends.
Go back to your family, sit down, think about it for 3 days. Talk with your wife or husband or whatever. Talk with your children. Get an honest job. Teach your children to do that job. Become an honest man. It's better for you. It's better for your family. It's better for us.
Besides, the next group of people that you try to distract might not let you live like we will.
That's
Might.
a good point. I'll take that into consideration in my 3 days.
In my 3 days, I'm gonna give you. You said 3 days, right?
Not to mention, I mean, no offense, I think you're maybe a bit past your prime. I mean, there was a lot going on. You had a lot of people, and we were kind of in control of pretty much that entire situation. Just saying.
Well, that's
Shots fired.
listen. Most of us, all we really do is run real fast and hide things in hidden pockets. Can't suddenly expect us to become bandits.
It shouldn't, yeah, so I mean, whatever
And
you
yet,
do.
you
Look,
did.
I'm not as worried about the law as these guys, at least not on paper. But choose your jobs a little wiser, you know.
I'm gonna
Plus-
be real honest. I thought this entire situation was quite intimidating. I thought you, and especially the Dragonborn, you looked good together. I was a tiny bit scared beforehand. Maybe look into guarding. I think you would become a great personal guard.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we were willing to pay a toll, of course. Now we're kind of aware that it was all a ruse in the first place to an extent, but you know.
Anthony,
Yes.
is there any work that you could offer these two?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
$16, all right.
You can tell by his expression that he was hoping that wouldn't being brought up. That wouldn't be brought up.
And it was.
The Decorm is gonna interfere and say, well, that might be a bit of a tricky situation. Let this man figure out his own life.
The reason he chose
I-
crime is because he cannot support himself.
I could give him another letter of recommendation, but a signed piece of paper that says I forgive him for his previous endeavors. That way he probably has a bit better chance of joining a guard or a guild.
Having a pardon from a Viscount probably opens at least one door, right?
Mm-hmm. Sir Anthony, you are a very gracious man. Not gracious. Well, also gracious, but generous. That was the word I was looking for. Sorry. You're a very generous man.
I was gonna say shrewd, but I guess that works too.
That's what my grandfather used to tell me.
Saul, will you accept this pardon and choose a life not of crime and find honest work to support you and your family? And even your friend Sybil?
Sure.
Insight.
Using that one, this one. Nope.
With the 20, he is. On the one hand, you do see that look in him of this went in way over my head and I should reevaluate my life choices. But he's simultaneously at this point also just saying anything to get out of the situation, basically.
Good enough.
That's as close as you're gonna get.
So, hey, there's a lot of wood on the road over here. If you take that home, you can maybe start a little furniture shop or something. You could make really nice things of these stumps.
I bet you could.
I feel like he's constantly in the deers in the headlights. Everything he's just deer in headlights. Yes, I could. You're correct. I will go home and think. Yes.
Listen, Saul, I understand that this is scary, but that's the life you chose to live. We're trying to make you choose another life, and I'll untie him.
Not make a persuasion check. Okay.
Could be worse.
Could be.
Beats easy peasy.
Yeah, I'm gonna still take the 20 insight. Hephe, you feel fairly confident that he at least is gonna think about his situation in life. What he will eventually end up with is impossible to tell at this point. But you're fairly sure he will at least consider about his life choices up till now.
Good enough for me. Anthony, can you work on that document or that paper, letter, whatever you humans
Sure,
use,
yes.
while he helps his friend bury their dead?
I'll start on it right away, and he gets actually out of your grip.
I'm still holding on to him. Like, I'll let him down, but he's always in my grasp.
Hefe's not letting this go. Like, nah,
And
son.
I'd say, like, by lack of any form of table or anything, he'll just kind of sit on the ground and use his shield as a bit of a table as he starts riding. And Saul will also start helping with the burial, and I'll also bring him here just for convenience sake. He should also be.
Anthony, I'm gonna walk to him as he is writing. Did you recently increase taxes or know anything of this? A reason that this smuggling lady could be angry with you?
I don't think so. You start seeing him thinking about his recent decisions. It was a group of farmers who wanted to expand. I'm fairly sure I allowed that with some asterisks, but they seemed fairly happy when they left.
Maybe
there
have
was
a
land around there. There was that wizard who wanted. I also allowed that. So honestly, recently I've allowed a lot of things.
You allowed a wizard to do what?
He built a tower just outside of just outside, a couple of miles out of the snoozing watch.
Do you maybe have an angry ex-girlfriend? Somebody who did something with magic? Sorry, indecent question. Forget it. I'll walk away.
Okay.
Interesting.
Anything else you want to do while the bodies are being buried?
I don't think so.
No, I'm good.
Maybe
can't wait to be
clear
on
the
the
road
road
a little bit.
again.
Sure. Oh, that's not what I want to do, but yeah, I can't change it on this map, but I'll just say that you are clearing the road.
Okay. And we'll stop as soon as all the bodies are buried and we're ready to continue on our way. I'm not sure how long that will all take.
Felt like we have to clear the road completely anyway, just enough to make a nice path.
What was the strength check for?
You see Teak very enthusiastically try to help changing the trunk, the tree stumps. He's like,
Yeah.
Perhaps you might be better working on the posts?
the posts.
Uprooting them.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I can try that.
Make another strength check.
Meanwhile, Fluke's just like, I'm not going to even try. I know what I'm about.
Oof, those negatives.
So, in the time that it takes to bury the bodies and for Hephe and whoever's working with him to clear at least enough for 2 people to cross the road here of the woods, Teak, you have uprooted about 3 or 4 what are they called?
Posts.
Spikes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I showed him very bleed, like, I helped.
I'll just pat her shoulder, just like, good effort.
I'll give a thumbs up.
I'll throw her one of my flasks and be like, well, that deserves a drink. Everyone? Anyone?
I'll take a swig from the
Shall we
flask
be
after.
on the road again?
Yeah, of course.
I think so.
Sybil will hear before we leave them off in her head. Now behave, sweetie. I'll be checking in.
And I don't care if this goes
Hmm.
wonderfully or horribly, but just because Fluke wants to show off, he's going to purposely not use the path and acrobatics over the logs. See how the...
Please, Nat 1. Oh, that would have been
Nope.
great.
Yeah.
Just being a show-off. If you not won, that would have been fine too. It would have been hilarious.
But yeah. For the content, guys, you gotta give us those Nat 1s.
I think he just wanted to basically show why he wasn't trying to move anything. Just like, I know what I'm about. I do this shit. Boom.
I mean, is that intimidation? Is it? Yeah,
yes.
it is. That's exactly what it was.
Asray, make a perception check as you leave Sybil.
Ooh, a perception check. Oh no. 17, the same with my passive.
As you say that to her in her mind, she starts looking up again and starts looking around.
No, sweetie. The one drinking. And I'm gonna wait for her to look at me, and then I'm gonna wink at her.
Okay. She seems a combination of surprised, relieved, and horrified at the same time.
Thank God. That is the
takes a
reaction I
swig from
wanted.
tears of my enemies.
Yep. In fact, I'll do that IRL just for the point of it.
Which way does the dwarf walk?
He's gonna join Sybil.
Decorum's eyes go dark for a bit, and he's gonna lean into Teak and whisper, "Shoot him in the head."
What? Why? Why
I'm
would I do
kidding.
that? Okay.
Do we hear Decorm say this?
I'm on top
does
of a log
whisper it.
pile looking cool, so I don't.
So, I think Hephe would be able to make a perception check to see if he hears it.
My passive is 14. I wouldn't be like actively listening to their conversation. So if a 14
Okay,
would hear it, then
14. What kind of?
Stealth check for the dragon.
I think so.
Because at this point, we're all supposed to be
Yeah.
grouped up, right?
stealth
Yeah.
Whoa.
versus passive perception DC 14.
Yeah.
Why is this? What is going on here?
Hmm?
I don't know. Whenever I click onto something, it just moves the entirety of the map. And it's like I'm trying to move my token, and instead it's like the map is moving, and so it's moving my token with the map. It's really weird.
Right, yeah, Hephe, you hear it.
Decorum.
The moment Teak looks up, he's just gonna look. It's a joke. It's a joke, okay?
Insight.
Yeah, everyone who heard it roll insight. Decorum roll either deception or persuasion on the GM roll.
Insight, you say?
Well, you were. I thought this was still when the rest of you were.
I thought this was after we were done burying the bodies as we were splitting up. And we were going through this way, and they were
Okay.
going the opposite way.
It is basically the scene of like he would do it at the moment at Mulan at the beginning, when two of the guys walk away, and then Shilan says, "How many people does it take to bring a message to the Empire?"
Yeah,
And he goes, "One."
that's what I was thinking. That's why I'm like, Decorum.
All of you figured that he was just making a joke.
I don't.
Maybe a little bit of a bad taste joke, but a joke.
I did not find that funny.
We're gonna go through the path then. And you're not gonna make any more jokes like that, Decorum.
Just like,
Please.
You know, I kind of know that's Decorum sometimes. He used to be like this as well. But it's okay, Decky. I know what you mean, Decky. It's fine.
The second she calls you Decky, my Asri's face lights up. Yeah, Decky, it's perfectly fine.
Decorum is just gonna look very confused. This is not gonna be a thing, okay?
Get a move on,
What's
Decky.
not going to be a thing, Decky?
It's Decorum of Roubel, Master of Ceremonies.
I've already forgotten half of that.
Yeah, Decky, what's wrong?
We actually used to club Corey at university.
Corey!
hated
I
that.
like Decky better.
Yeah, me too.
I have the accent. Stop saying stuff.
It's more fun. It's more fun to say as well.
Can I just call you Decorum?
Please do.
I'm going to call you Decky, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
And we're gonna princess carry away.
Okay. You travel further. The rest of the day is fairly quiet. And in the evening, unless you still want to do some things on the road, you see a little bit in the distance what's it called? The Heralds Haven. A fairly easily to see town, as it is quite a small town, but in the middle of it there's this a very tall building which at the very least Decorm would know, and Fluke would also, I think Ezra as well. The three of you would know the Heralds Haven used to be a just an inn besides the road, but it got quite popular, and as the inn grew, more people came to the inn started expanding, and like small shops and things started growing, getting surrounding it, and this has continued for a couple of decades now, and the current inn stands about 5 or 6 stories tall, so you can see it from quite far away.
And what was it called again?
The Heralds Haven. I'll put you on this map so you can see a little. Once it loads in, you can see a bit better.
Yeah, I was gonna say very pixel.
Once I see that building, do I know what it is?
For you, make an intelligence check, I think.
Right.
Why is it not?
It's not pixelated on my screen anymore.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it has loaded in on my GM screen, but not on the screen that I actually use for the recording. So, but it will load in eventually. With a 16, you've heard of it. You probably looked into a bit of the area before you traveled southward, and there you saw mention of it.
But basically, all of the story that you just told about Herald's Haven, I'm telling to the group. Like all of it that I know, I'm repeating this to the group. Like, even though they probably know all about this,
excitedly.
I'm just like,
Yeah, Fluke clearly knows, but he's letting you go anyway.
Same with Asri. As Asri wants to eye Fluke up and down, and now that she's trying to get into more of a feel of him, can she do like a history check or insight or anything if she's heard anything about him on the circuit?
On the circuit?
Or that's just my word,
The
like out and about
circuits.
amongst rogues and other people that are
okay,
out stealing and shit like that.
Sure, make a history check.
Natural 20.
wow.
I've heard of Fluke at some point.
Yeah, you do know you do definitely know his guild. The name, I forget the name for a moment, but
Fate's
what's
Fortune.
called again? Clow?
Fate's Fortune, I believe. If I'm mixing
Fate's
it up.
Fortune, something like Fate's Fortune. You do know his guild, the Fate's Fortune guild.
Okay.
But you do know that among the circuit, as it were, there was a lot of talk about. It wasn't really very serious, but there was a lot of challenging each other to rob them of this really strange-looking egg that the Fate's Fortune had found. And at some point, you likely also, with the Net 20, have heard that a purple kobold grew up from the egg that
They
people
found.
once were kind of challenging each other to steal.
Gotcha.
Also, Cloud, because it was a natural 20, you now have to transfer your entire backstory to Vlad.
That's not bad.
I mean, if that's how it goes, I want to stop that right now and pretend I never rolled. Then other someone might roll on me. I'm like, I don't want to fucking copy and paste all that to you.
I mean, to be fair, Slump's got the file.
You're right. We
So-
can make it a DM problem. Thank you.
Honestly, I don't think even Flute would know his egg was at one point a object of, hey, let's steal this shit.
He would or
It's this
would
mystery shit.
Would not.
They probably wouldn't have told him that.
Gotcha. So as we're going over, like, hey, I think I've heard of you before. Aren't you the egg that the Fortune's company found? Trying to like think about it.
Just claws the back of his head, like, yeah, they did kind of raise me. I kind of started off as, yes, you call it a mascot, but, you know, I know my shit. I know my stuff.
Just gonna.
I mean, clearly, I think I proved that more or less.
Yeah. I was just now that I'm actually hearing you talk and everything, I just realized that, well, I've heard of you before. Takes a moment.
I mean, it's kind of a mix of I'm notable, but I haven't done a lot yet. I mean, but people don't forget a purple cobalt that easily.
There.
Well, and we're here at Heralds Haven, or we see it coming ahead.
You see it coming ahead. You see it in the distance at this point.
Do we think we should make up camp beforehand, or we'll make it before the end of night?
Good question.
It's at this point getting a bit late. I'd say you'd still make it to Heralds Haven before having any problems. You'll just arrive at a moment that everything is closed, as it were.
Considering the experience we just had, I'd say we're a little safer in town.
I don't know about you. I'm very intrigued to see this Heralds Haven, especially after the story Teak told us. And Sir Anthony, I don't know about you, but a nice bat would be quite welcome right now.
Oh yes, certainly.
At least Teak, the inn is still there, right?
The inn is still there, right? Do I know this?
Yeah, it is. Like the big building that you see is the inn. It's still, though it has grown as a town, it is still very much centered around the inn.
Yep.
It's a national landmark. Let's sip some culture.
We're gonna sleep in an historical building, you guys. It's so cool. And she like happily skips forward a bit.
It's all.
She looks like in
Decorm
front
will
of the
join
group.
her in skipping.
Asriel will be like, you know what?
Yes.
Why not? And she'll take the other arm on this other side of Teak. So like, I imagine like Teak almost in the middle, or and then like you got the other small person next to her, and then on the other side is this Dragonborn who's like leaned down on his one side, like trying to make sure the other two small people don't like fall behind.
I just imagine Teak flying basically between the two of you.
Oh, I'm a small creature too, so I guess we could each be on one of his arms, and he could just be skipping, and we'd be like making leg motions in the air. What's your strength, Cherry?
An 18, so we should be good.
Oh yeah, I'm only like 100 pounds with all my equipment.
Probably less than that, to be honest.
And with that spectacle, burst into the inn and say, "The party has arrived."
Well, I mean, we made it to town. We skipped all the way to town. Let's take it.
Also, before we get to town, I'm just curious because I see something that piques Hefe's interest. The lifeless lake. The fuck?
That's not
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
Oh, that's a Thin Woods. Yeah, the Lifeless Lake. That's That's my city used to be in the city, or my village used to be in the center of that. Do you remember the one I told you got attacked and got destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be in the middle of the Thin Woods.
Okay, but why is the lake lifeless?
It's not knowing the actual story. She's going to Bart Simpson make up a story as she's doing the stare off and be like, Because it was a warning to people to not overfish there, lest the lake become lifeless.
Make a deception check.
I've always
Deception.
Or are you gonna say Decorm?
I was chiming in.
Hey!
Okay, sorry, Decorm, go ahead.
Huh, what an interesting story. At my university, they always told me that it was pronounced lifeless. It's like, and became the lifeless lake because it sounded more plausible. It was about, apparently the water of it is used for making truth serums. At least that's what they told me at university.
Really?
If anyone wants to know why it's called the Lifeless Lake, they can make an intelligence check. Or a history check, I should say.
Well, first I'm gonna make a deception check for that story.
Sure.
I believe it.
Oh, that's a history check from Teak.
Oh. And Teak's like, that smells like bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, I know
Went to the-
Cherry's lying.
Bruh, I went to the same university, I heard a completely different story.
So you actually do know the real story. You just heard me bullshitting and decided to go with it.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think I believe Azrae over you.
You're a very smart man. I always thought the guy who told me that story was bullshitting me. It might have to do with the fact that he was on his seventh whiskey.
Decorum, I think that's the first time anyone has ever called me smart. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I think you're, so far, I don't know you that well, but you appear to be insightful.
Oh, I'm very wise. I'm not very smart, everyone's told me.
You just don't know things.
I can make good decisions. I just don't know what's going on.
It's all a matter of perspective anyway.
He'll
You shouldn't
snap
beat
and
yourself up.
point at Azrae when he says that.
Wait, it says that people don't call you smart?
No, you say that I don't understand what's going on, but I can make I can make right decisions.
Gotcha then.
Oh, Flip, you actually also rolled a history check.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't see that.
People always told the
I'll
exact
send you
opposite
this
about me.
Oh, this was something that got PM'd. Oh.
Yeah.
I caught the flash before it fell at the time.
So is Teak gonna lay any truths, or is Teak just gonna be silent?
So you gonna let us have our BSing?
I like that you all know the story, though.
So, what is the actual story?
Sorry, I sent it to you in Discord.
Ah, okay.
Since
okay,
at first I thought you would be the only one to roll, so I thought, oh, then he can just tell it himself.
Ah, okay.
But everybody
okay.
decided to lie to me instead.
I mean, Asri openly did.
And I believe Azrae because, you know, Azrae grew up there.
Everyone else rolled.
Fluke doesn't know.
Aw.
I'm gonna make an insight to see if I realize. I said, okay, so Teak is I'm gonna say oh, I heard it was called the Lifeless Lake because there was no life in it whatsoever, but I don't know.
Why is there no life there?
Asri's gonna say in the back of Teak's head, now that was the wrong thing to say. We've got to get away from that, otherwise he'll be stuck on this all day.
It's better if we don't go directly towards it, though, at this particular moment, because the people who go there also tend to disappear.
I mean, what if we put fish in there? Would the fish live?
I know. I would definitely want to go back there with you sometime, but at the moment we're on a different journey, on a different quest. But we can maybe go back there sometime and find out why there aren't any fish.
Hephe, I'll be honest with you, there's a chance I may be incorrect. Mine's just a tall tale that's been told down through people, so perhaps these educated people know a smidge more than me on that part.
Well, I mean, most of the books that read are also just written down by other people, so they can be wrong as well. I don't know. I'd like to do some research.
I think I'd like to try to put life in the lake and see if it finds a way.
But what if it doesn't?
I put life into a lake once, was not appreciated by the cops.
as we just kind of pause on that, explain how you put life in a lake and it didn't. I want to hear this, please, Decorm. It's a story.
Oh. I was at a fraternity. That's the kind of thing we did. Somebody placed it there. Somebody called bluff. Somebody raised the bet. We went to a lake. What did we throw in it again?
Life,
Oh
apparently.
yeah, one of the professors. Yeah. Sleeping spell, very easy. Threw him in there. Immediately woke up. Right. You should know this. It was the talk of the town for a while.
What professor was it?
Bouillons, I think. Bouillons,
You type it
yeah.
in chat.
Hephe silver blood sniping.
I want to know what Hephe is saying.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I think he did history or something.
Oh my god.
Oh, Professor Buens, that was you! Yes, I heard of that story, definitely, of course.
Buance. Like a nuance, but buance.
Yeah, I could have bought a pretty necklace from the find that gave me. But worth it.
Well, I assume at this point we've at least made it to the town. While we're skipping, are we still almost? Are we almost to Heralds Haven?
Yes, I'd say that you just arrived there when you were done with the conversation.
How long was the travel?
Well, from the bandit encounter, that would have been the rest of your day, basically.
Yep, it's nighttime. It's bedtime. Let's find us at the inn.
It's quite late at this point. With that, we can go to break now.
Okay, shall we shall we find our own lunch in this campaign?
Yeah.
The campaign without a name.
So you arrive at Heralds Haven, the town, and there's what's called the route that you have been walking. Also, just follows through the town. You see a couple of smaller buildings and shops surrounding it, but it's still all allows for fairly easy travel to the inn. You see some other travelers stepping in and getting into the inn. At this point, it is getting quite late.
Decorm is gonna walk in and say, "The party has arrived."
So as you walk in, you enter a what's called wooden entrance area. In front of you, you see a small desk with a bit older looking human behind it, and in the right you see a door, an open doorway, where you smell a lot of food and drink coming from, and behind the desk you see a set of stairs that go upward. And as you walk in, the man behind the counter, he kind of looks up at you. Says, welcome, gentlemen. How can I help the party? He said.
Oh, Cora realizes this is the
Ooh,
reception.
cherry.
You just
Yeah.
Ooh,
Cora.
cherry.
I hear rain that sounds like cherry.
basically.
Decorum realizes this is the reception.
Yeah.
Okay, that he's just completely. He just looks at him. He's gonna walk to the bar and say, "The party has arrived."
A tiefling woman stands behind the bar, and she walks up to you. Is welcome. What can I get you? What kind of party are you talking about? She says it all with a smile, but she is a bit confused about one person walking in here and yelling about the party as well.
But the rest of our party is not here?
I didn't go to the bar.
I did.
Oh shit.
I'm standing right behind you when I'm like waving to her.
Decorm is gonna look around him, not see Teak because he's too small, and say, well, I'll guess they will be coming later, but that gives me more time to talk to you. Could I have a red wine and one for yourself?
I'm sorry, I'm working right now.
Well, I'll make it a glass of water.
Sure. And she offers you a couple of wines. I don't have any wine names at the ready, but they range a bit. You would know from the. There's one. I'll say that there's one from a bit more further up north, which you know make. Where they make quite. That's the. How do you say it? The fancy wine for commoners, as it were.
Do you maybe, perchance, have one from Azere, of Acne, Anse,
From Anse, I'd have to look real quick. And she comes back and says, not from Anse per se, but from its neighbor, from Voor. So she.
Perfect.
And she gives you hands you a glass and fills it. What's the rest doing simultaneously?
As this is happening and Teak is realizing she isn't really part of this conversation, she walks back to the first guy who was at the bar in front of like the first wooden desk.
Yeah.
And she says to him, "Is this the Heralds Haven? Like what the town is actually called after?"
Hi, ma'am. This is, as you can see, well, I guess you can't see, it's pretty dark outside, but this is the one and only Heralds Haven. How can I help?
That's so cool! What's your name? How long have you worked here?
My name is Igor. I've worked here for a couple of years now.
IGOR?
AGUR.
Ager. Okay, I just had to make sure. No actual reason, I was just curious.
Sure.
I am writing his name down and then...
Hager, what's the biggest room that can hold us that you have available?
Well, we have a couple of rooms available. How many people are you staying with? And he looks at you as well, Hephe. How many people are you staying with that require a bed?
5 people? I can just lean against the wall.
Might as well just make it 4 beds. I'll end up cuddling someone in the night.
Alright, we have a couple of rooms with 4 beds.
Have you got any historic ones?
Historic, not really, I'm sorry. Yeah, we recently renovated all the rooms, and my boss unfortunately does not have much time for historic historic value, I should say.
Sentiment.
Maybe some
Yes.
some historic beds then, or some historic furniture, or
I mean,
something
we
else in a
haven't
room.
Thrown anything
Still from that
away.
time?
I'll have to. I don't know where we put the old beds and where we got new ones, but I can check for you.
Oh, if you would like to do that, I would love to see them. Like the craftsmanship of such a long time ago. I would love to see the style and the different decorations and the type of wood they used and the different constructions they used to make the beds and stuff.
I'm not sure how much I can help you with that, but I'm happy you're excited. let me check real quick. And you see him grab a ledger and go over different rooms that he has. We have a couple of. We have at best rooms with 3 beds, and then 1 bed is for 2 persons.
Fair warning to anyone who goes into that bed. You're probably sharing with me.
Could also give you 2 rooms with 2 beds.
We would prefer 1 room.
Much
Only
preferred.
1 room's for. Wait. 5 people?
I do not require a bed, however. I can just find some wall space.
But wait a second, guys. Aren't we with 6? I mean, the Viscount is also there.
Yes, but I'm just going to share a bed with one of you. So that's 4 beds. He doesn't need a bed, so 6 minus 2 is 4.
Yeah,
4 beds.
okay.
I don't think we have any rooms with 4 beds left.
Would it be possible to move a bed from another room into that room so the room had 4
Is
beds?
the room big enough?
Well, our rooms are certainly spacious enough. I think something can be arranged, and he'll actually wait here for a moment, and he'll close the ledger, and he will walk upstairs. And yeah, a couple of moments later, he'll come back and says, "Yes, I have had someone move the bed around."
Thank you. How much will this cost?
4 persons. I have to look up what are the Dungeons & Dragons prices for rooms.
Plus a little extra for moving the bed.
These are-
Apple, what'd you have wrong with my potion shop sounds? It was just bubbling.
yes, and yeah. You're just staying for the night.
Yes, just for tonight.
That'd be about a gold piece a person.
And then I'll take Anthony from my Princess Carry, push him a little bit forward, closer to Ager, and have him expect him to pay.
Jesus.
As he's doing that,
Right, and
As
he will
we-
pay you. You did sign the contract that all the
Yep.
expenses go from your payment.
Yep.
So he'll just he'll pay, and he'll actually be very glad to be among people again, and he'll actually also walk into the bar, which doubles as a restaurant.
Who's doing that?
Anthony.
He's in my hands. So
I mean-
if he indicates
No,
that he wants to go that way, I'll carry him over there.
He would have not let, once you were at the Haven, he wouldn't have let you carry him further. He would have been walking.
Okay, I'm holding his hand then.
In that case, he'll lead you to to the restaurant.
I made one mistake. I'm not doing it again.
Asri will follow with them.
And he'll see Decorm at the bar, and he will actually walk up to Decorm and wait, where's
Sir, I met this wonderful lady. What was your name again?
my name is Gulam. Welcome to my inn.
Gulam. This is, and I'm gonna
You're in?
look at
Are you the owner?
this.
Yes, of course.
Wow!
What was Cherry saying? He was in the middle of something.
I'm gonna look at the Viscount and maybe roll an insight check to see if he wants to be named by his regular name and not or by a fake name.
Sure, roll it.
Whoa!
No, that's wrong.
What a time to get a nat 20. Do you want us to use your real name? Looks at person.
I'd say with the natural 20, you had talked about this before, and you decided to just call him by Anthony. So it's easy for him to respond to, but not suspicious.
This is my dear friend Anthony, which I told. This is my party, as the rest of the people start wandering in.
Welcome. I can see it would be exciting. It's such ferret company. It looks more.
Hey, Decorm, how's Tony doing?
Sorry?
Do you already introduce Tony?
I'm introducing him right now.
Okay, just making sure.
Gulan, was it right? My friend Tony here has a problem, which I think that maybe you, as a woman of town, know the answer to.
Of course. What can I help with?
What if, per example, me or my friend Tony wants to send a gift to loved ones in one of the other countries? You, of course, know the war. I sincerely hope that it doesn't affect your business too much. But what if one of us were to send a gift to one of our family members in one of those countries? I've heard that there are people in that business. Do you maybe know?
Well, people of your
one
stature
who knows more?
should have their means, I imagine. I imagine
Sorry,
that
what did you say?
I imagine that people of your status would have their own means. I'm not sure. I mean, most people like me don't have many relatives across the border. So,
Well, you are sincerely correct that we do have the means to do this by regular trade routes. But we've been noticing that these kind of trade routes become quite an easy target. So we're looking for somebody who is able to do it a bit more securely, more stealthily. Somebody who doesn't look like they're being paid by somebody of our means.
well, normally I would recommend looking out people like yourself, actually. We get a lot of mercenaries and similar in our inn, so I would recommend hiring one of those.
And do you maybe have a name recommendation?
Not really. We have a lot of travelers, but not a lot of stayers here. Well, except ones who opened up shop.
Well, thank you. It was worth a shot. It's worth considering.
Well, if I hear anything, how long are you staying? Because if we hear anything, I can send them to you.
Unfortunately, we'll be off tomorrow morning.
Oh well.
But we'll be back, right?
I sincerely hope so.
I think
Oh,
that
well,
partially depends on how good this whiskey is. And she she pulls out her flasks and puts a gold down to start getting this ball rolling on the drinks.
Well, for that kind of money, you can get a very good whiskey. She starts. You can actually see her open up a cabinet underneath the bar where she picks something from. You want the flask, right? Not a glass.
Preferably.
Give it here before other customers see it.
She easily hands it over it's yours.
Yeah, she fills it with a whiskey. I unfortunately also don't have any whiskey names prepared, but
You're good.
you would recognize as pretty good whiskey.
Woo! Good whiskey!
It's a Glengulan.
Notes for later. I feel like there's gotta be a fantasy alcohol generator somewhere.
Yeah, there definitely is. So, can I help you with anything else? The rest of you gentlemen and gentlefolk want anything to drink, or do you want anything to eat? If you want rooms, you have to speak with my employee.
Do you have apple juice?
We certainly do.
Do you have rum?
We certainly do.
Can I have a rum and apple juice, please?
When she asks for
Sure.
that,
Oh!
yeah, Asri looks at her and be like, okay, so I know you're sweet and all, but that's a little. You know what? You do you, girl.
Oh, thank you.
That her voice when she starts getting drunk.
A bit? Yes, I think. The more drunk she gets, the higher the voice gets. After a while, you can't hear it anymore. It's ultrasonic.
It just comes out as.
Now, guys, I don't want to be a party pooper, but don't forget our job.
I assumed we were all still like surrounding Tony.
What?
Yeah, at this
What
point-
job?
I assumed so much as well. As much.
But still surrounding him, but just, don't get. I'm trying to say, don't get fucked up.
At this point, you'd be just at the bar with everyone, so. So, would you like anything to eat? Or just drinks for now?
I think drinks for now are wonderful. Anybody want something to eat?
I was going to ask about any sort of cheese and or meat platters you may have.
We have a couple. And she leans over somewhere further on the bar, and she gives you a small menu with some smaller food items. Where a meat platter is one of them.
Okay. What does that run? Does it stay on the menu?
I'd say about a silver for one person. It would be, I guess, enough for 2 person to kind of snack on.
She'll go ahead and put down then. You said it was 2 silver.
1 silver per.
Gotcha. She'll put down 3 silver then and say, "Let's get a round of the meat platters going for us, please, and thank you."
Of course.
Also,
And she claps her hands, and a spectral person will appear, and she'll just say, "You heard the lady," and the spectral person will walk away. Towards,
Asri
a
is
room
so
back.
much more interested in this person now.
do you have any greens?
Of course, we have a couple of salads. They're usually starters. We can throw something together and turn it into a full meal if you'd like.
Please.
And don't worry, he heard that as well.
And I guess I'll put down a silver piece for that.
Sure.
I'll just take a
I'll
whiskey sour and I'll snack down on the platter when it comes. Simple
In a
mixed
couple of
drink.
minutes, the meat platters arrive, and then a couple of minutes later,
Yeah.
the salad will also arrive. The salad is noticeably a lot more than the meat platters. The meat platters are more like appetizers, and the salad is a full meal.
That's okay. The platters are literally just meant to be snacking on while we're drinking and kind of doing the relaxing thing. And if anyone wants a real meal, they can order it.
Yeah.
Hey, Gulan.
Yes.
So, how did you get to own the Heralds Haven? And do you only own the pub, or do you own the entire town? Does that go along, or is that a different thing?
Well, I have arrangements with the townsfolk. We had a couple of problems a couple of years ago.
Oh, what kind of problems?
Well, some people were selling some shady things outside, and around at the same time that the inn was getting its serious attraction from people or from travelers. And there also immediately came some people who want to take advantage of those people, and I figured that would be bad for business. So from that point on, I made sure to have some knowledge at least of who sells what in the area.
Okay, cool. So, DM, do I have any idea how old Heralds Haven is?
Yes, it is. At this point, it is fairly old. You would know that it has been around 40 to 50 years since it started seriously growing. Before that, it was just an inn on the side of the road, basically.
Okay. Yeah. So were you there when it grew and became really big?
Oh, well, I was still a little girl at first, and I what's it called, inherited the inn later. But for most of it, I was at least alive. For some of it, not really. How do you say? Well, I was just a child.
Yeah. So it's always been in your family, then?
Yes. Though I've been adopted, I consider it my family.
Yeah. Are they also Gulan like your family name, or is it your own name?
Well, they gave it to me. It's supposedly some form of pun in Abyssal, but I don't speak Abyssal.
Do I speak Abyssal? I do not speak Abyssal. Too bad. I don't know the pun either. Gee, okay. Well, there aren't that many people who speak Abyssal, are there?
No,
I don't.
That's where I've also got my match. My father was a quite a wizard, which he used to liven up the inn and make things more interesting for the travelers, and that's how we started growing.
Okay. I think your name is really pretty. Gulan, it's a beautiful name. You could call it Gulan's Haven if you'd like.
Well, it's an old name. People know it. It's better to stick to the legacy.
Legacy is special.
Brand recognition is important.
All of my great Hefes, I hope I can live up to their name.
So, I saw you snap your fingers and there suddenly was a servant. That was something magical, right?
Yes, my father made sure to teach me as well when before I took over the inn, just to be sure that the quality of our services wouldn't decline when I take over.
Yeah, so you were homebrewed then. Homeschooled, I mean. Homebrewed.
I mean, she was in a way.
Yes, we had a couple of tutors who traveled here to teach me, but most of it was my father.
That's so cool. Can you do other cool stuff?
I have some tricks that I like to keep for rowdy customers. So...
Can you show one?
No.
Just the one.
She smiles, but doesn't do it.
If you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Well, there's the thing.
Decorm laughs at that.
I'd
If chokes on his drink a little bit, like...
to have as little of those kinds of magics as possible in my inn.
Oh, but what I do can be really fun as well. It isn't only murderous. Here, I'll show you. And I
No,
take the
that's not
fork.
necessary.
Too late.
Too late.
I
Appropriate.
take the fork and I ding it against like the side of the table, and the hum that you hear at first goes kind of changes into the no, that isn't necessary. That's she just heard Gulan saying, and then she prods the fork once more with her finger and shows her like she prods the fork, and once again you hear no, that wouldn't be necessary. Basically I did the magical tinkering stuff.
Sure.
And see,
Very impressive. You should start your own in.
sorry, what?
You should start your own in.
Well, actually, my great granddad actually owns an inn, so I'm
Really?
kind of known. Yeah, it's over in Iwe. Have you ever been there?
You're all the way from there.
Yeah. I started my journey over there. His name is Gerhard Proudling. Ever heard of it?
Never heard of him. To be fair, I've never traveled that far from here, so all
You should
I
do it
hear
sometime.
is what people are telling me from stories.
You should. Sometime it's really nice. And if you see the Proudlings, tell them Teak sent you.
If I remember, I will do so.
Teak seems content with this conversation.
I was gonna say at this point, some other customers also arrive, and she starts helping them as well.
Generally, it would be neat to start enjoying a meal and your fork to start saying, "We hope you enjoy the meal." I mean, creepy, but neat.
A little bit.
I would hate.
I
that.
can do that.
Like, me in real life would hate that. Sorry.
I would hate that. Yeah.
I can do that. Would you like that?
No, please don't. I don't need my food and folks talking to me. I appreciate it though.
Okay.
Asri's gonna pull out her deck of cards and start shuffling and see if anyone wants to play.
Fluke pulls out his own deck and starts shuffling.
Decorm will walk to Hephe and say, Hephe, would you join me outside for a moment?
Sure. I drag Anthony with us.
No, thank you. I'll stay in the inn. That's much safer than whatever's outside.
When he says that, I will grab his hand and start pulling him towards me. Don't worry, Hephe, and I'll hold his hand up. I got him.
Thank you.
You'll be with me, and you'll be safe.
Thank you, Azri.
Go outside.
Okay. Do you want to do this in whispers, Cherry, or?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
What do we see outside? Like, is there a back alley? Like, is there a smoker's area?
There's a smoker's area.
There is a bit of a porch and some room from the inn to the road itself. On one side you have like the stables and place where people can get their horses to rest while they are staying at the inn. On the other side, quite quickly you see like first a small general store standing, and if you look around you see many of these two-story buildings, which at the ground floor is a store of some form, and then the upper floor is where the people running the store live. I'd say between the stable and the inn, you'd have a fairly private area. There's also, since there's always a little bit of space, but not very much, there are some kind of alleys, but it's more just a small path between two buildings.
Hey, Hephe, how are you doing tonight?
Well, so far the night has been enjoyable.
Life has found its
Has
way.
been nice.
Technically, I could write you. If this is offensive to ask, please act like I don't.
To ride me?
Yeah, I could go on your back and you could run, right?
No, you're too big for that. Teak and Azrae, they're more of the people that can ride me.
We're we little ones.
My back is too small for someone of your size.
That's a shame. But I do think we could get a horse around here. So if we want to, we could go to the Lifeless Lake tonight.
You son of a bitch.
I swear. I swear.
Don't you know you never split the party?
This in the back, we be strong and hardy.
Let's see. Roll 1d20. If it's a 10 or higher, I want to do it. If it's a 1 through 9, I want to stay with the party.
What is it?
Oh no.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I do want to learn more about that lifeless lake. Cool Health would probably be happy.
Me too. Me too. Oh, I think it's a 2-hour drive. We'll be back before dawn. Maybe even get some sleep.
Maybe even get some sleep.
Unless you just want to go with it, Cherry, make an intelligence check to guesstimate the travel time.
Yeah, because that's a little more than 2 hours, I think.
Yeah.
It took a half day's
horses-
travel.
On a horse,
Fuck.
it will be much faster than. Well, 2 hours sounds right.
God! Damn it!
You took the dummy out to go do a thing that he wanted to maybe do. Fuck.
Was this the last moment? Are you in or out? It sounds like an adventure to me.
I would like to know why it's lifeless.
Me too. Let's find a horse. Is there a horse nearby?
They're gonna steal a fucking horse and get this done. And the 2 rogues are inside the bar!
Play cards!
You're next to a stable, so there are horses. There's also someone tending the horses. Most of them are in some form of sleeping position, as it is quite late.
Horse boy! We need a horse.
Sorry, sir, these horses aren't for sale. They are from
rent?
patrons in the inn. No, they are from people in the inn.
Where would a fine man find a horse to rent at this hour?
Well, you could wake up. Van is not sure he'd be happy about it, but he lives on the other side of town. And he points to the direction to south, basically. He sells his horses sometimes for travelers. He also sometimes buys horses from travelers.
Clippity cloppity, let's get at it.
Yes, let's do it. Let's find this
Flippity
man.
cloppity. Oh my god.
And we never saw them again.
Well, like, at some point, Asri's gonna be like, alright, where are those 2? They've been gone for an awful long time. I'm tired of holding the fucking Viscount's hand. It's like, I'm imagining, like, interlocked, right? She's like, do-do-do.
You know, her and Blue just like, so your deck or mine?
Okay, if we go with mine, it's my lucky deck.
I mean, I feel like I should
I'm
say
gonna ask
no,
the-
but I'm gonna say yes.
That's because you're kind.
Stable hand for direction to this horse.
Okay.
Horseman.
Oh god, why are we doing this?
Because you gave yourself a smaller window of not doing it because you're dumb.
And I have a 7 in wisdom, so this seems like a perfect plan.
So we have the. What's your intelligence?
At least a
I'm
14.
intelligent, but I rolled a 4.
True.
Well, technically you rolled a 2. You got a 4.
That's the same.
Even worse.
Thank you, Cloud. Thank you.
So, the two of you enter what looks, or go to what looks to be a bit of a horse range. You recognize also stables, and with here, all the horses are in a bit larger barn, and it seems to be much less like the previous stables that you saw, were very easy kind of to get into and get out of. These seem to have made it a bit more difficult. Everything seems to be closed up. That doesn't seem like they're expecting travel or customers at this hour.
I shout out, "Hello!" as loud as I can.
Make,
We will-
sorry, what we can say, Hephe?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'd like to rent a horse. We want to go to the lifeless lake. Find out if there's a way.
Both of you make charisma checks, I'm gonna say, to see if you get through.
Can he do his with advantage?
No, this is
Okay.
gonna be two separate.
I like the attempt there, though.
Persuasion?
Me too.
Charisma.
Just straight
Just general
charisma.
charisma.
Woof.
It's okay. 21.
So, quite an old man comes out. He isn't literally in his pajamas, but he looks like he was ready to get into his pajamas. And he's walking on a cane, and he looks at her. What? Did you? Horses? I sell horses.
And we want a horse. We come with business. Sorry for the late hour, sir, but it's urgent.
Well, we get those. Meh. And he starts. He's going his fastest, but he kind of starts shuffling towards the barn. And he opens it up. And in it, you see they're also sleeping. But as he walks in, he starts like knocking with his cane against the side of the barn. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! And you see some of the horses start looking around and confused and tired, but awake.
Hephe, would it be offensive to ask you to select a horse because you know more? I mean, you understand how it should look like, right?
I mean, I do know some animals. I might be able to look at them and figure out which one might be the best. I might be able to find the best value.
That sounds perfect.
In that case, Hephe make an animal handling check. And this moment, I would say that helping does work, so you can make it with advantage if Decorm helps.
Are you helping me look them over? Okay. Thank you, advantage for a soft 20.
Okay, with a 20, you look over them.
Like I don't understand money, but I understand which one's the best. So he's doing the money part, I'm doing which one's the best parts, and we're working together to figure out the value.
I'm just standing back and I'm pointing like, don't show interest. Even if they're good, don't show interest. Play it cool, play it cool.
You notice a couple of good ones. With help of Decorum, you notice that there seems to be a fairly okay line between good horse and expensive horse. But you find one that you're fairly sure would be able to not only just in general make the trip and as fast as possible, but also make it while just been woken up and doesn't seem to be as much bothered by the sudden awakening than the rest of them.
How much is this one for the night? We'll be back in the morning, hopefully.
Could never
One
happen.
thing is, you see him do math and 50. I don't remember the voice. 50 gold pieces, and if he comes back hurt, it will be another 100 gold pieces.
I just drop my jaw and look at Decorum at that price.
Well, it looks good, but not 50 gold pieces good, right? I
How much
mean,
gold is gold?
look at my gentleman. He's the expert, as I point to his body. Hephe, how much would this horse be worth? Surely no more than 25 gold. Hint, hint.
I would agree that yeah, 25 gold. That sounds more like it.
You could always go and ask Asri for some gold.
Make a persuasion
But-
check.
Which
But
one of
wait,
us?
wait. Sir, because you woke us, we woke you up so late in the night, 30 seems a fair price.
I'd say in this case Hephe with advantage. No, actually, because with that last part, it would be Decorum with
Decorum, yeah.
advantage.
Which was necessary.
Fingers crossed, Laurel. Son of a bitch.
18 out of 19.
This is where you roll good, of course. So, fine, but if it gets back hurt, it will be 200 gold pieces.
That seems more than fair. And Decorm will grab 30 gold from his pouch. Almost everything. It's for a good cause.
At this point, can Asri be like, all right, they've been out there for a long time. I need to go see what's going on. Come on, Viscount.
Tony.
Or sorry, come on, Tony.
Yeah, I would say that at the moment that you get out, you see in the south, at the south of town, two people riding away.
Riding away. And do I see?
So,
Does it look like one of them is a
Make
centaur?
perception check to see if you recognize the centaur.
There is one thing that I want to ask before we left the dude.
Okay, we'll do that first, and then you can make your perception check.
Okay.
Can I say that I walked outside with him?
Well,
And I'm also
I'll
looking.
do this first, and then we'll go to that
Yeah.
scene. Okay.
is there anything that you can
No, I
tell
mean,
us about?
Can I also roll perception, like I'm standing next
Yes,
to
we're
him?
doing the
Yeah.
scene first.
Oh, the scene. Sorry.
Is there anything that you can tell us about the lifeless lake?
Lifeless.
I know. Never been there. I suppose that there's not much life there.
Do
Probably
you
no
know
fish.
why?
Maybe I would know. No, that's actually a lie. I would know. I don't know.
That's a lie. The DM decided I don't know.
Okay, thank you. And we'll ride off
I
into
love
the
this
darkness.
character.
Do you know which way it is?
You have a
It's
map.
north somewhere, right?
We saw it on our way in.
That's fair. That's fair. We have a focus point.
Okay.
He's just so adorably senile.
You said roll perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna light a torch as we leave because I don't think either of us have dark vision.
I have dark vision.
Well, I don't.
Oh, that's your
Oh
fault.
dear lord.
All right, so I'm gonna light a torch and ride off into the distance.
It's still. Ezra and Teak will also coming along. Both make perception checks.
I mean, I'd be
Let's
honest,
see,
I'm
go
not playing
outside.
cards. Not that it
Fluke,
matters.
well, I think I would just tell you like we're gonna check where they are real quick and then.
Okay, fair.
Like I still have Tony. Like I'm still locked into his hand. Right. We're still holding hands. So I'm like, with a 21, what do I see?
You see a large dragonborn on a horse. Both of you see a large dragonborn on a horse and a centaur driving away about northeast from Heralds Haven.
My hands and like my other hand
Northwest of Heralds
comes
Haven,
up to my brow and just starts, Hephe, we were gonna come back. Life could have found a way. Hephe. She's saying this out loud. Teak, do we go after them, or do we just go back in the bar?
I mean, I don't know. I guess we have to, right? We can't just.
But
leave
that
them go on
endangers
their
our
own.
mission right now. Isn't this our mission to keep him alive and
I know.
going to the
I
life?
know.
Oh, I'm rolling a d20 about it.
I'd like both of you, before you do that, to make an intelligence check.
Okay. Just straight
Yeah,
intelligence?
no.
Yep.
Woof.
This is the moment I roll a 3, of course.
Okay, that's how that works. Ezra,
God fucking damn it.
this kind of makes sense as Ezra is more from this area than you. So Ezra, you
fair
do
enough.
know that from here on foot, the Lifeless Lake would be an entire day's travel, basically. And you know that with the horses, it's gonna be faster, but it's still gonna be like 4 hours until they get there, then 4 hours before they get back.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, they're.
Oh
they're
fuck.
we can't. I'm sorry, but if he dies, if he gets in trouble in any way, shape, or form, it comes down on all of us. So if these two have gone to run off to find out about something else, then I suppose that's on them, and we have to complete the mission now. It's disappointing. Let's get inside and let Fluke know what's happened. Come on, Tony. I'm sorry. I'll say in Draconic to Tony, don't worry. The three of us at least won't leave you.
They seem like such dependable people, and then they just.
How far
He seems
away?
to be genuinely shocked that the two of them would go away. Like,
How far away would you say they are by now?
Riding out of the village.
let's see.
Even my 35 feet of movement, I can't catch up to them.
With thaumaturgy, announce your presence.
I don't have thaumaturgy!
I'd say they'd be close to. Well, because they're dashing, I imagine. So they're going pretty fast. I'd say they'd be close to 500 feet away from the Heralds Haven at this point.
Herald's 500 feet. Okay.
Yeah. Because they went to the edge of town first and got on the horses before we even looked out the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Asri goes in, pulling in Anthony, and like goes to Fluke and inform him like who we just saw leaving town.
What?
Yeah, I think it's just the three of us now.
I just imagine it like a cut to Fluke's reaction. What?
Yeah. Oh, gotta go tell Fluke. What?
Well, I'm inclined to agree with you, Fluke. Because I did not expect the two of them to be so unreliable.
The part that like OOC makes me like upset is that they were our heavy hitter boys. Those were our tanks. We've got 3 squishies now. Fuck.
Bye-bye healers.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
son
okay.
of a bitch!
Even if it's 8 hours away, we'll still be back. We'll be back by morning. We'll just be exhausted.
Yeah.
Hold on, that's just travel time. That's not including the time you take at the lake.
Well, that's, an hour or two. We'll be back. What time is it that we left in? What time did we leave?
Yeah, late.
I mean, because it was not
close to
late
midnight,
enough.
I'd say.
Because it was not close enough to because we were able to make it to Heralds Haven, and then we got in the inn and we stood there for a little bit, and then we went out and did all this stuff. So I'm not sure how late we actually arrived.
Well, but because it was getting close enough that most people are getting close to heading to bed and everything. So I'd say it left around 11.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be back at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, guys. Don't worry.
I'm just imagining. So this is the life of
We're
Lake.
supposed to
A
leave
lich
at
hand
6,
pulls
so you'll be
you
3
in.
hours behind us.
Well, just don't leave at 6. Give us a chance to come back.
Well, hold on, if I may, as the only one who I believe is a soldier on this part, or at least enlisted for that part, is there a time frame in which we're supposed to complete this?
You mean the escort thing?
Yeah.
There is not, but there is the part of that you are supposed to put his life for this moment basically before anything else. So this would be considered not doing that, and therefore the contract would be annulled.
Well, I can't null my contract. I literally, my character's been working too long to get this contract, so no, she's not gonna null it. We can't wait.
Oh, waiting for them is something different, but for the two of them, if they leave now and then, well, depending on the situation in which they come back and how that goes, no, actually, I would say the contract. The moment they left, the contract would be annulled for the two of them. But if they come back, a new contract can be set up in the sense that he would want to renegotiate how much he will pay them for that.
Gotcha. So they basically we can wait for. Okay, I thought. Sorry, yeah, that's what I was trying to ask is if we wait for them in the morning, is that going to null out the contract?
No. That
Okay.
won't.
Okay, then if that won't, then yeah.
Because you could still argue at that point, we need the two of them to protect you, so we're still putting your life first, as it were.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit, see if they come back.
Yeah, Anthony, can you please in the morning maybe take an extra couple hours? Maybe there's shopping or some creature.
I'm tired. I should.
Yes.
Honestly,
Rest.
if I finally can get to rest in a real bed, I might not even wake up next morning.
In that case, take all the time you need to rest. We'll make sure that the inn has the gold they need to not disturb you. And we will hopefully see our friends in the morning.
Okay.
Asri is just so exasperated that just. Oh
I
my
can
God.
imagine.
Like she saw Hephe run, and she's like, wait, fuck.
Cloppity,
Like, the worst part is she understands what happened. Decorm probably wanted to see it, said something, and Hephe was like, she knows he's not the brightest guy, so he's like, that sounds like a good idea. And Decorm is probably easily influenced. So once the train started, there was no stopping it. It was just snowball.
My character is easily excited, and you just said, "Hey, let's go check this thing out." Okay.
The thing yeah.
You could say part of it is she's mad at herself, even though it's not her fault.
I should not have let Hephe out of my sight.
So after this conversation about how far away are they?
Well, there's.
Couple of thousand feet out.
You were still outside, right, Teak? Because Azrael
Yeah.
went in and talked with Fluke.
Yep, and I have Anthony with me.
So unless if T could have stayed outside when that happened, or he could have also joined inside.
I think she would definitely inside as well.
Okay,
Talk with
because
the rest.
if you were to follow and then speak with Fluke and then come back outside, they'd be out of your sight at that point.
Yeah, I reckon as much. Okay.
Yep, they're gone. Well, I think the rest of us just gonna go to bed while they have their lifeless lake shindig.
Well, I mean, we can't really go after them, can we?
No, of course not. That was me asking OC though, but I appreciate that Teak answered. Teak is just too helpful. She wants to answer everyone's questions.
even the ones that that she hears from the voices in her head.
She must have a really hot. She's got the 30 pounds of perception. She can hear us. I knew it existed.
I think you guys, at least we should give them like maybe half a day or something to get back. And if they're still not back, we just have to go on with them, without them.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm really confused. I thought they wanted to go with
They
us.
do. They just. Can I be honest with you? I think I know what happened. Hefe's whole thing is about bringing life and making sure life finds a way. We talked about a lifeless lake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one says he's heading that way right now to see if he can bring some life to the lifeless lake.
Oh. So maybe it wasn't the smartest thing to actually tell him. Then.
I did try to lie at first.
Oh, so that was what that was about.
Yes.
Now I get it.
That I get. I'm more surprised that Decorm kind of just decided. I mean, I guess he did seem eccentric, but isn't he like the Viscount's friend or?
I did think he and Tony were friends. Yes, I'm not sure
He's
what's
a
going on.
Family friends, I should say. I was more friends with his father than with him, but he was always a very reliable kid. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I was rather happy when his uncle told me he'd send Decorm.
Hopefully this is just a flight of fancy that they will get past, and in the morning everything will be as good as new, and you can renegotiate that contract, and these dunderheads will learn that doing these kinds of things will cost them money at the very least, if not also reputation.
Well, reputation, certainly the money.
I just don't know if honestly, I'm not sure if they're smart enough to understand that the reputation is important at this point. They just left. They didn't say
Okay.
anything.
I got nothing to do with you human lands. I'm a centaur.
I understand that.
I don't expect Hephe to care, but you would think Decorm. I mean, I'm trying to build
Yes,
a
I imagine so.
personally.
I'm okay being. We're chaotic. Let's go do things. Okay. God damn it, Decorum!
No, out of character, this is hilarious and interesting, but none of the in-character people like this right now.
I don't know. This is great.
I know two characters that really like this right now.
In character, the three of us are probably just all like, "What the fuck, guys?"
Jerry, I hate you, but I love you.
Let it be known, there's only one Sam Riegel.
I think, as someone who's just recently started watching the Mighty Nine, I think we know who are not and Caleb are in this party apparently.
And who's that? Now I'm confused because
These two
I-
fuckers apparently.
I didn't think that either of them fit
Caleb.
Caleb or not.
They don't have that past connection, but they're like, it's us against the world right now.
I
Well-
want to go check out that lake, and he said, "Let's go
Yeah.
check it out."
Well,
Um,
it's an interesting point where we'll be at after we travel for 2 hours, because that's what
Yeah,
they
that
call
was
it.
what I
Travel
was-
will be more.
that was what I wanted to go at. Both of you make survival checks, Decor and
Oh,
Hephe.
Okay.
Yeah, because at this point I imagine everyone in the inn just went to bed.
Yeah, we'll get to what's happening with the two of you.
It's not with advantage,
later.
I'm assuming. That was a
No, it's
misclick.
just normal.
Yeah, so 10.
Okay, and Decor?
Whoa! That's so high.
Decor, interestingly enough, you are the one to realize that at this point you've traveled for about 2.5 hours, and you can't even see the lake yet.
Roll intelligence.
Hephe, how old are you?
I'm 20 and a half.
Ooh!
How old are you?
I think around 30.
Oh, I can't wait till I'm 30. Then I get to take over my clan.
Holy sh! You have a clan,
Yeah, I have a Silver Blossom clan.
and you'll be their chief.
Yeah. As all the Hefes before me.
So you'll be a. Wait, your father was called Hephe Silverblossom
I?
Senior,
No.
or just
Just Hefe Silver Blossom. As is the way
Oh.
of our clan.
intriguing? So you're technically a prince.
I don't know
Of
about
course.
that. We're not like a kingdom or anything.
Huh.
Also, prince in this setting would be a very big title, as
Yeah,
that's
okay,
what the dragons are called.
A noble.
Yeah, fair.
Huh.
Chieftain in training, more like it.
So, So this would be somewhat your traveled outside of your forest to prove your worth?
Oh no, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm just on a quest by my spirit pool of health. I gotta figure out how life finds a way so I can give her back to full strength.
Well, I think that's very intriguing, but right now we need to figure out where the lake is, because it should be around here somewhere.
Well, I mean, didn't you say it was only 2 hours away?
Yeah, but we've been traveling for about 2 hours right now, and what do we see?
Both make perception checks.
You just see dark. Oh, dark vision. Hold up.
Not Hephe.
I have a torch.
No.
I've been keeping track of my torch inventory. I'm down to 7.
Oh, great.
Oh, dear
The
Lord.
two of you see mostly grass.
Oh my
To the
God,
left
are
of
you
see some
joking?
trees.
An unnatural one. Not often you get to see that.
Huh. Do you see it?
I don't see it, but maybe we should just keep going a little bit further till we find it.
Go another 2 hours.
I don't see very much, so I guess it should be somewhere. So I guess you're right.
Okay, how long further do you travel before stopping, or are you just gonna travel till you're there?
I'd say what, another hour? Half an hour?
Yeah.
Which
Another
one?
hour.
Half an hour or an hour, Terry?
Is there like a hill nearby or something?
Yeah, the area itself is quite. There's a lot of hills in the area, so
Is there with mine? Is there an area that seems like a good viewpoint from the area?
make another perception check.
Just him or both of us? 'Cause I'm assuming we're talking
Uh,
about this.
Yeah, if the both of you are looking for a vantage point, then both of you.
Yeah, he'll say that out loud.
Oh my gosh, these rolls!
The two of you are looking, don't see much, so Decorm just starts kind of climbing the closest hill, and then from there he sees a bigger hill, so he'll start climbing that. And so forth until you're on a fairly big hill, and you can, well, still only see about 60 feet in front of you, but you have a vantage point.
What do we see from the vantage point?
Darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, a lot of darkness. Still, like a further hilly area. Yeah, I think this would just be another perception check for the both of you.
Okay. Go, Gadget! There we go, there's a roll!
Finally, someone gets a perception check. What? And this is to find the lifeless lake, too.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
darkness. With just a
Hey!
torch.
There it is.
So,
We're also good on his negative stat.
Hephe, you don't immediately recognize as the lake, but in the distance you do see at some point around the edge of what's it called, to where you can see in the distance, instead of hills, it starts to flatten out. And from there, it starts getting a little bit lower, and you don't immediately recognize, but you then realize that, hey, that could be the lake.
And how far away does that look as far as time travel goes?
If it were just like an easy straight line, about an hour, but with all the hills and everything, you'd reckon that'd be 1.5 to 2 hours.
Okay, and we've been traveling for a total of 3 hours now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll look at Decorm. I'll say, I think that over there might be it, but that's like another hour and a half, 2 hours.
Huh.
Huh.
I thought you said it was only 2 hours away.
I guess this horse isn't as good as this man said.
I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty tired too. I've been running.
That's fair. It's up to you. Do you want to continue, or... Going back also feels like a waste of the 30 gold.
Fucking Teak.
Well, I mean, we might as well get our money's worth. Let's keep going.
Yep.
Of course. They're gonna die, guys. They're gonna die.
Do you...
Baffle, I hope you get ready to get permission from the
I really don't want this character to die, guys.
No, me neither. So,
Don't
during
you
this
know
last hour...
lips with the party.
What were you saying, Sharon?
During this next hour of the travel... shit. No, never mind. It has a material component. It sucks.
Yeah, how much of your equipment did you guys bring with when you left?
Decorm, most of it.
All
Okay.
of my stuff? I'm always
Yeah.
travel ready.
Because I think Hephe had given most of his stuff to Decorm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Decorm would just been
Here you
carrying
go.
everything stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thankfully that works. It would have been hilarious. Just like, Teak, hold all this stuff for me.
So, while those two travel further, at the inn, at some point, unless you wanna do some more roleplay beforehand, at some point all of you go to bed.
Yeah.
Fluke played cards. Fluke gets into his small clothes. Fluke sleeps with a dagger under his bed because at this point he's kind of paranoid with the shit that happened earlier.
Asri's probably gonna be cuddling the Viscount to sleep.
Okay. The Viscount will be uncomfortable, but too busy being happy with a comfortable bed to resist.
Fluke will also nut before going to bed. Teak, when we get back on the road,
Yeah.
I think next time if we see any more wildlife, we're gonna have to turn them into supper. Just because it could be that freaking familiar again.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Can I assume that Teak knows that a familiar can take on different shapes and stuff, or do you want me to roll for that?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll send you something later about like for all of you about which level spells you likely know about and which one less likely.
Okay. Also, because if the familiar gets back, it can probably also be just a completely different form. So I guess we just need to be very careful with all the wildlife that comes really close to us.
Yeah, I wasn't sure of that, but I was feeling that. Goodness knows what else she has wandering up.
Yeah.
Not saying that Badger was scouting us out, but it's too much of a risk not to hunt it, and Worst case scenario, oh, we have food. That's such a shame. I mean, I thought the badger was cool too, but I think we gotta be a little paranoid.
Yeah, Fluke, could you maybe not kill the little birdies? I mean, there's not too much meat on those anyways.
That's what literally took our viscount was the little birdies. Like that's the prime target.
If they get really close to us, then fire away, of course. But if they're just sitting in a tree or something,
They're probably
Oh
scouting
yeah,
and
I'm
telling the
not
main
saying
forces
we
where to find
kill
us.
every bird. That's silly. But we probably should be paying attention to see if any animal's acting oddly.
yeah, we should definitely look out for that.
Well, yeah, just being vigilant and all that. Good job today, everyone. Besides the people who ran away.
Yeah. And you see, while Fluke was playing cards earlier, Teak was probably sitting somewhere nearby, but she was kind of turning the acorn in her hands around and around. And at this moment, she just kept silent. At this moment, she says, like, man, adventure really is a lot different than I thought it was gonna be. It's not like in the books at all, you know?
Definitely different traveling with you lot, but don't much mind it. I mean, we all handled that last situation really well. Good time, honestly. Well, you know, other than the fact that they almost got away with the Viscount, with Tony over there, but, you know, it just means he hired the right people. Hired regular armed guards, they would have probably just been, what the hell, and then he would have been gone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we really did our best today. I mean, I shouldn't have experimented. I shouldn't have used stuff that I'd never used before. I should have tested it before I actually used it in a real situation. You know, I mean, I thought that the cannon was just gonna be more like a pat in your face or something, but it was more like a sledgehammer in your face. It was really, really bad.
On the bright side, that will definitely come in handy later. We'll just have to keep in mind the oomph it's got. Because, you know, we run into, oh god, I don't know, a Decor, I'm just calling it random. A manticore, let's just say a manticore. That would be very handy. Look, this lady's got magic, okay? Who knows what she's got. Oh, this is good.
What is that?
Okay, good night. He just flops up on the other side of the bed. Just like so he doesn't stress himself out so much.
I guess it's a good thing I've got those glasses then. If there's something magic coming our way, I'll see it.
That is
I'll make
handy.
sure of that.
Good to know.
I'll have to talk to you about a project.
A project? What kind of project?
Well, no rush or anything. I'm just not good with the sun. Something to help deal with that. When it
Okay.
gets in my eyes, it's really harder to fight. Like, really, really.
Yeah. I mean, come to think of it, while you're saying this, I mean, I could maybe make you some glasses that are a bit, like, darker or something. I don't really know.
Just, you know, tinker around, glasses, goggles, whatever you like, you know.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself out or anything. Yeah.
No, that's definitely workable, I guess. You can give glass all kinds of colors. So, maybe there's a specific color that can filter out the sun.
It would be lovely. he says
I'll take a look.
Progressively tired and tireder nearly just before he passes out.
Okay. And as all of you are sleeping, I'd like everyone to make a perception check with disadvantage, except for Azrae, you with you just regular.
Oh no!
Yeah, we probably should have still done watches.
Woo!
Oh, a little late.
Yeah.
Well, we could have if we had a full party, probably, but right now we're probably all too disappointed in that.
I will say Fluke is at least sleeping with a dagger under his bed, so...
Hey, there's 3 of you and there's 3 ships.
Hey,
You all can do a
11,
ship. Fuck
that's not
off.
too bad. That's not too bad.
Ezra,
Yes.
as you're sleeping, you kind of feel a little bit of tugging, and it kind of wakes you up. And as you awake, you realize that the Viscount is no longer in front of you or in the bed.
Wait,
Ah,
I look around.
no.
Where, like, I'm making a, like I should like what the fuck? I know I drink, but I wasn't shit faced. So I'm looking around. You say I was just feeling tugging. I'm looking to see like any sort of creature, any sort of movement, anything, anywhere.
Okay, make another perception check.
Oh, I can't just use that. Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you.
I got
Thank
a
goodness.
7, so like a +7, so at least my perceptions are decent.
With a 20, nothing.
Not with a 20, nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
specifically nothing, like suspiciously nothing, I should say.
I immediately think I'm in an illusion, and
Like even the bed seems like the Viscount. The only like thing disturbed about the bed is the Viscount who disappeared and the sheets that have like moved there.
all right. Well, then seeing and it's suspiciously nothing, she is going to pop up, still kind of in the bed thing, like hopping off and having a hand on the bed, and she's going to scream as loudly as she can to try and wake up her other party members in the other rooms.
You're all in the same room.
Well, we're all in the same room.
Yeah, you're all in the same room.
Oh, we all fit in the same room this time.
But
Sorry.
they are definitely
I
awake.
Yeah, I
Oh,
scream out.
instantly,
Whoa,
dagger
whoa,
from the
whoa,
bed. Just
whoa,
like
what's
at the
going on?
ready, like, what the fuck?
Where's the fire?
Again, she's like, do you guys see Anthony anywhere? Because I'm starting to like waiting for any movement besides those two, just basically doing a strike out to hit something.
I'm immediately slapping on those goggles that I described last time, so I'm casting another detect magic. Just in case there's any less magical traces left or something in the direct.
I'm gonna have
Surroundings.
to look it up real quick.
Fuck.
Because that is some specific thing. There you are.
2 sessions in, we've already fucked up.
It's almost like we weren't
you know what, make
supposed
a
to make it
perception
there.
check, Teak.
Fuck.
We kind of messed up.
Oh, sorry. My disadvantage was still on, but
Yeah.
12.
Doesn't
with a
matter.
12. With a 12, as you look over, I'd say you notice some grayish, almost white hairs on the sheets, and the only way that you notice them is because they gave out this faint magical aura.
Okay. So I picked him from the bed, and I say like, these are magic.
The Viscount
And-
didn't have hair, right?
No, he was
Didn't have like a
traveling
wig
with
that he tried wearing or
scales.
anything. Yeah, I figured. I just had to make sure.
So do I have any idea what kind of hairs these are?
Make an Arcana check, and no, not. Okay, I'm gonna just warn that the DC will be very high.
Does our room have windows?
No. Oh, I'll.
And the door's not
that
open,
you'll
right?
Be able to see, but
Fuck.
here.
That is a very small little area we can see. Okay.
You can just see your room.
That is a very small little room. Got it. I can see the walls now.
Nope.
Okay.
With a 13 Arcana, you figure it is definitely some innate magical creature. You know that it is very likely not a sorcerer type person, but more of an how do you say it? It is more someone who was imbued with magic than someone who, from their birth, had some form of magic to them.
So either studied or warlocked.
I don't mean studied or close to warlock. That's I say. It's almost like forced upon them.
Yeah.
But quite clearly, you'd figure that it'd be a kind of maid sorcerer, as it were.
Maid sorcerer. Yeah, okay. MADE. Yeah, okay. So I say, okay, so you guys, I found these hairs, and the core of the hairs aren't inherently magical. So whatever being these hairs are from, they know some magic, but they didn't know it from birth.
So, what I'm hearing, at least, isn't any point in dashing out in the hall and trying to chase whatever this
there
is
you go.
down, because it's snuck in and then teleported out. That's what I'm getting out of this right now. Annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, and somehow it can teleport people. Like it teleported him without me, even though I was like fucking. He was in my grasp. So I'm not sure how that fucking happens. But sorry, I wasn't an accent, but I don't know how that happened, considering he was in my arms. But fuck. And she's still looking around because she still partially thinks this is like one giant illusion. So she's still eyeing for movement.
It's worth a shot. And Teak just runs outside, keeps the glasses on.
Okay, let me, because I'll remove the door for you. Don't know if you can see that now.
I can see, as always, right now, 5 feet away from me. I don't think I have dark vision or something.
Oh wait, there because there should be lights in the halls actually.
Fascinatingly, it's got a fast. Luke's looking around like suspiciously, just like one hand I want to chase, on the other hand.
Okay.
What is
Mr. DM, I assume that Teak knows the direction of the exit.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
No, actually, that isn't it. So, I did it wrong on the map, but it's going to take me too long to fix it now. But in the halls, there are these magical lights that are being carried by golems.
And that's just part of the inn, right?
That's just part of the inn, yeah.
Making sure.
That's, yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, sorry, this... yeah, if you want to leave the inn, you can. I just showed you the map because I had it and give you a bit of reference for the room. But we can just like go to another map, so just so you can.
I mean, it's not the most professional thing in the world, but I feel like we should complain to the owner. Maybe they might have some insight.
I don't know about complaining to the owner or waking them up in the middle of the night for one of our problems.
Well,
I'm more worried about trying to find out.
Our friend was just spirited away in their hotel. Someone broke into our room and spirited away our friend. I'm pretty sure that's kind of their problem.
Yes and no. I believe that maybe what you meant to say is bring this to their attention, not necessarily the person who is going to be complaining to them, if that makes sense.
Well,
like,
yeah,
hey,
I mean, maybe complain is the wrong word, but yeah, this place is magical. It's got something going on.
Hopefully, at the very least, maybe they heard something and can give us some insight. So, I'm nervous to split us up any more than we already have, but I do feel like we need to go and search the area as well.
Also nervous to leave the room. I feel... No. Maybe this is all some... Maybe they made him invisible and levitated him, waited for us to leave, and then they take him. I don't know. This is a little out of my depth here.
I mean, I assume if anything was moving in the room, I would have gotten another perception checks to see it.
If you... I'll say that if he was still in the room, you would have at least noticed something with your 20 perception.
Also, I might as well put my gear on while we're getting ready to do this. Unless you think we need to be rushing.
She kind of gestures to her clothes still being like on. No, Alma.
Basically, the reason I was asking about the exit is that Teak just wants to walk to the first window that kind of has a view towards that exit.
I'd say, yeah, you would know that all the rooms, all the windows have been all the rooms have been placed so that they have access to windows, and the rest are just routes in between. So unless you want to barge into someone's room, it's going to be difficult to see outside.
What is our window looking out on?
Sorry, you don't. You didn't have a window. You were more in the middle of the inn.
Okay, well, in that case, if Teak doesn't see a window around her, she'll just dash outside and try to find some trace of the person leaving.
Okay.
Of a person leaving. A trace of life, basically.
Yeah.
Her goggle's still on, by the way.
Yes. Make a perception check. Yeah, make a perception check.
I don't know why it doesn't roll. Oh, there it is. I'm rolling great today, guys.
And you're trying to get some sense of something that has moved past here. You get distracted as in the stables next to you, all the horses are like wildly kind of jumping and trying to get loose and trying to run away. They seem to be very frightened of something. You see the stable hand like trying his best to calm them down, but to basically no effect.
Okay. I say, you guys, this is not something small. That took the Viscount.
Not something like us, got it.
And there doesn't seem to be any trace of him anymore.
This is getting worse by the minute. I don't appreciate any of this, I won't lie to you. So
Pops out 1 minute later, just fully suited up. Well, their armor doesn't take a while, but he also has a lot of weapons.
I have a question for my DM.
Sure.
For silent speech. It doesn't say I have to see the creature. It only says it has to be within 30 feet of me. Can I try to send out a broadcast signal of sort to the Viscount to get him to wake up, to screaming, "Wake up and yell"?
Roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is this something I could use halfling luck on? This isn't an ability.
I mean, it's any d20, right? Anytime you roll a d20?
Is it ability checks?
Ah.
When you roll an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you may re-roll the die.
Well,
So this I don't think qualifies because it's not
since
technically
you
an ability roll.
no, the thing of this is, sorry, for a moment. Okay. This was I treated similar to the sending spell.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
So it was just percentile. You hear back from him, but I can see you. She has me, but where you can't see me? Why is everything blue? She's just laughing.
I immediately say out, She's got him in the etheric realm. Can anyone punch a hole through that? Everything's blue for him, but he's responded. I'll say back in Draconic, calm down. We are going to figure this out, and we are going to get you back. Is she pulling you away? Are you traveling or moving?
She's casting some spell.
Can you punch her in the face? Distract the spell. I'm hoping. That was me. I don't think Anthony will actually do that, but at this point, I'm just trying to.
He cut off mid-sentence for you.
Oh, he cut off mid-sentence. Oh,
That's what I thought.
Casting
Yeah.
a spell.
Casting a spit.
Oh, I heard the full spell word come. I thought, oh. Asri falls to her knees. I think he's gone. I think she actually came out here and she just pulled him into the etheric realm and pulled him out here and then cast teleport. I'm looking on the ground to see if I can see any ruins anywhere that seem to have lit up now, or like that seem to have appeared.
Wait, you're trying to see
Ruins on the ground or anything that
Ruins.
looks like someone cast teleport.
No. I'll say since it's your telepathy, it didn't sound like he got too far away or anything. It just sounded to you like he went unconscious or something along those lines.
Oh, okay. Then I would like to redact all that and say I think he knocked him out, son of a bitch. I'm trying to send out a broadcast signal to her then, but I don't know her, so never mind. No broadcast signaling then. She's like, shit. She's gonna start like doing the ground shuffle like Velma when she's looking for her glasses, just trying to feel a body at this point.
At the meantime, DM, what does my character know about traveling towards and away from the ethereal realm?
Make an arcane check.
That I can do.
19.
19. You know, it is for most humans and gnomes and all those races, it is actually quite high level and difficult magic to learn. You do know that there are some creatures that can do it innately, though you do know that most of them can only get themselves into the ethereal realm. With 19, I'm also going to say that you know that night hags are a creature that kind of fits all the descriptions you've heard from now, from this point, and also, you know, have the ability to jump in and from the ethereal realm. You do know that the ethereal realm and the material plane are kind of overlapping realms, and they can affect each other in some ways, in that if a door is closed in the ethereal realm, it's also closed in, or if in the material realm, it's also closed in the ethereal realm. But you do know that creatures from the when you're in the ethereal realm, you can kind of run through things, and as long as you don't stay in them too long, you won't even notice anything. And you do know that any living beings in either plane can't really interact with each other, except that when you're in the ethereal realm, you can generally see into the material plane.
Okay.
But for the easiness of it, also say that you do also know that with an see invisibility spell, you can also look into the ethereal plane.
Okay. Well, we already found out that no one has a see invisibility spell. So, okay, I basically, did you guys listen along?
Yeah, you can relay if that's
Okay,
easier.
yeah. Well, basically, what he told in less words than this.
It's a night hag.
Yeah, I tell you as well, and I say like, I mean, right now I can't do anything to get to the material to the ethereal realm. I mean, I could make something, but it's gonna take hours at least, and by that time she'll be long gone. I, you guys, I don't know what to do.
I'm honestly not sure either what we can do. I'm pretty sure at this point it's just we're in a point where we're not supposed to, like, I don't know, character wise, as we still like trying to look for a body, try to figure something out, but like, oh, see, I've just come to the terms that this is something that we're not going to be able to actually do. So we just gotta realize that the actual thing is our mission is to go and save him, not actually escort him.
Yeah, Fluke's just kind of against the wall, just like, not giving up, but fuck, this seems above our pay grade.
And with that, I think we can end the session here. Next session we will learn what Decorm and Hephe found at the Lifeless Lake.
Yeah.
You know, here I was expecting we were going to have to sit around for a hot second, a little while they do that thing while we sleep. But no,
That was-
no, this
yeah.
shit happens.